Welcome to the Kinkazoid Podcast, where you get some education on your form of stimulation. With your hosts, Royal, Chase, and Trey Proper. Buckle your seatbelts because it's going to be a wild ride. Let's get kinky.
All right. Welcome. Greetings and salutations to another great episode of Kinkazoids. It's your boy Trey Proper, and we've got a great show lined up for you as always. But also, I'm going to give a chance to introduce themselves, my lovely co-hosts. Go right ahead, ladies.
Hey, what's up? It's your girl Royal. No tagline necessary. Just recognize she's a queen.
Hey, what's going on, guys? It's girl Chase. Let's see, Hayes. Doesn't matter how you say it, as long as that flavor stays in your mouth.
Every time I hear it, it makes me crack up. I'm sorry. All right. So usually here at Kinkazoid, we start off with some possessions and some toys, but we took a week off last week because, of course, of the holiday, and we didn't do any research because we was lazy. We was lazy. We was busy. We had stuff to do. So, we're going to get right into our topics this week, and we always have our dessert. I'm going to give you your just desserts first, and then we're going to fill you up with your meat and potatoes. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. So, first things first, our dessert this week is Eating 101. We're going to get the kinky stuff out the way. By eating, of course, we mean cunnilingus. Has it been 30 seconds yet? Can I say it? All right. So we're going to go over the best and worst positions because we had a conversation previously where it was off camera. I don't know if we talked about it on the camera, off camera, whatever, where, gentlemen are performing this act. And they may be either laying down flat or whatever have you, but whatever position you're laying in, does that increase the pleasure that is provided? So I'm going to let you guys go first with what you think would be the best option of the ones, or one that you may not have seen or we may not have listed, you think would be the best option for a gentleman to perform cunnilingus.
Are you going to give us
who wants to go first?
Yes,
because I did send the outline, so don't do that.
I'll
go down the list. All right, I'll go down the list first. Of course, there's edge of the bed, where basically you're sitting like a queen. The legs can go over the shoulder. You're sitting straight up. There's that one. There's the stand and deliver, which is a personal favorite of mine, where the gentleman, if he has a strong back, can pick you up in the air and pretty much do the same thing. And there's the lazy side lay, which is, you might be trying to watch Netflix from the Netflix portion of your chilling, and you're laying on your side, but you got one eye out. Just keep that leg down, And then there's the, call it the tummy time, where an individual's legs can be dangling in the air like they talking on the phone as if they were 16 and, boo loving for the first time. And lastly, there's the plank that a lot of gentlemen, including myself, usually go with, so we don't look too effeminate, where we're laying flat out. You don't see our legs, you don't see our ass, none of that. But we are just in it, planking in it, not full tilt, because that was some confusion in the description. But yeah, so of those options or any other ones that you guys can think of, what would be a best option for you for your viewing pleasure?
Let me first just say thank you for clearing up the confusion, because I know Candace and I both were of the opinion, like, who is out here planking on bitches? Just saying.
I just like to use words. But yes, go right ahead.
All right, I guess I'll start first. So my favorite is the edge of the bed. And that is when, like, I'm that fully, seated at the edge of the bed or whatever, legs over the shoulder, and it's like, it's kind of like a no escape position. You know what I'm saying? It's like you hate it and you love it at the same time. But, I think that's one of the best ones, because I feel like, your legs over the shoulders. Again, like I said, there's no escape, and he's fully focused on what he's doing.
Well, if an individual is... Go ahead. I'm sorry. I'm just going to
wait. You're the one who said something about, what was the one on the side where you looking at TV and how you want to do both?
I mean, you can, if you are, you can multitask. You can definitely get it done. It's not difficult.
I feel like if you're not focusing on what you're doing down there, then we both going to be disappointed.
I mean, yeah. She got a point. Anyway, so we're doing best and worst, or are we just doing our favorite?
Yeah, sure. Go right ahead.
So like Royal said, definitely Edge the Bed gives a power trunk to the male, because he's able to, especially you got some ham hocks on you, able to hanker, you know what I'm saying, keep them spread open and bring it in for a delivery. So I like that. But I also like the sneaky, like, underneath the cover. I don't know what it is, but knowing that, like, your only ability of breathing is, like, every little breath that you take every once in a while will you kind of stop eating for a second, because you underneath the blanket is real hot and everything like that. I don't know. And then also just not seeing your head, like not seeing nothing, but just seeing your head, the motion of your head. It's a visual thing for me. It's just,
so you out here hotboxing Bamas, is what you're saying.
That's not what that means.
I know it's not what it means, but that was like the best analogy I can come with off the top of my head.
I because it's like, if you were talking about, like, I think the under the blanket is like, what do they call it when it's disgusting, when the Dutch oven or whatever like that?
Yeah.
So maybe it's just like the Dutch kitten. Maybe that's like the way.
That's the name for it now. That is officially the new name.
I also like
writing that down.
The Dutch kitten. Regular just laying down. I think my favorite so far has been watching somebody perform through GoPro. I think that was pretty cool. It was definitely. I love how both you had. I didn't know that. So like they basically I just had a little GoPro attachment and I just had to lean it down. So I was actually not watching it. I was watching it through a GoPro little camera. So it kind of made me feel like I was in my own Orange Tube set. I think the worst one is the dangling in the feet. Obviously, I'm gonna laugh. I'm gonna laugh more than I need to. I'm already open. Air already is flowing in and out. I don't need the accidental queef to be popping off. I need to be in the most relaxed position ever, and I don't need to be laughing with air and thighs open. That's just too much.
I'm dead at the accidental queef. You killed me. It's done.
I mean, I don't think you should be blowing no air in that joint. So now you shouldn't have a queef there. But then again, if you're smart, you're gonna practice the repeat method. You're gonna eat, beat, and eat back again. So you can definitely get some queefs out of that. But men in general don't care about a queef. It's the other one we're concerned about. Don't fart in my fucking face while I'm handling business. Then you're done. We're done. Like that's it.
In that case, when a woman says "hold up real quick," she's not saying "hold up real quick" because she can't take it. She's saying "hold up real quick" because something's about to come out the other extremities that you don't need to hear. I don't need to hear. We don't need to smell. Just hold up.
You may want to move.
I feel like men just don't realize the anatomy. Like you're going in, especially from the back, if you're going in, you're hitting up against another part. It's very thin flesh in between it. So you're going to start activating something else. So we're saying just hold up for a second. Let me readjust myself. I'm just trying not to ruin the moment. But go ahead and do that. And then you'll be back.
See, it's different if I'm hitting it. If I'm hitting it and you fart, we already here. But if my face is there.
So if I'm hitting from the back, you're going to be cool with that?
So, TMI moment, definitely have hit one of these moves before. So I can breatve, just lean to the, just like, nope, it is what it is. I'm already here. Yeah, you see us faking like we pulling our shirt over our head. Yeah, definitely have a veggie plate-based diet because, if you like me and you eating steak all day, it's gonna be a problem.
Yeah, man.
All right, checking out the comments real quick on Facebook. All right, we got some people in here. John Luther's back. Ebony Wiggins, what's going on, gang? What's up, Deshae? She said, I'm back. Yeah, and so are we. Manny Lewis, so Trey is either spectacular or amazing. Talking about my shirt. Yeah, it's BlurCon week, homie. It's going to be nerdy all week. That's how it's going to happen. Let's see. I like to eat it doggy style. That's one we did not talk about. Is the eat it from the back.
Yeah, I don't like that one because I can just only imagine my butthole on somebody's forehead, and that's uncomfortable for me.
We don't care. I can't speak for every man out there, but generally speaking, men, we don't care. If we're going
that's not me care about butthole on forehead.
So it's not okay. So yes, cunnilingus is important. We value your pleasure, but we ain't doing it for you. So comply. Comply. I can't say submit because y'all get mad at me when I say submit. So
okay, go ahead with the comments.
Man, Lewis, hey, multitask, yes, random tasks. Dutch oven cunnilingus from John Luther. John Luther, I see a porno with when the girl farted and dude kept stroking his face, said that joint stank.
Wow.
Yes. And what's up, Cheesy? She's in the wow. She said wow as well. And check out the comments on YouTube. We got Brittany Payne. Facts. Hold up. Wait a minute. Yes. You just got to lean to the side and just let it go by because I'm already in it. At that point, there's no... The biological brain of my... we're not stopping. We're not stopping. It's going to keep going. Unless it is horrendous. But anyway, so which one do you guys think would be the worst? I'm assuming, Chase, yours would be the one from the back, would be considered.
Yeah, I've had it done twice. And it just doesn't do nothing for me. Like, I like it just because I guess it's like the positioning, everything opening, the hips are open and everything like that. It's just, I personally don't like it. It feels weird to me. And honestly, you're not even close to the part I need you to be on. So, I don't want my 8 from the back. That's weird, bro. Nah, that's like,
I understand.
Yeah, I already said mine. I feel like the lazy side lay is exactly what it said. Lazy. You're not focusing on me, and I feel like if you're not giving it your undivided attention, then you're not going to get me where I need to get.
That lazy side thing is it's kind of uncomfortable too because I have to keep one thigh up.
Right.
And that's annoying to keep like just the pressure of one thigh up because I can't enclose it on you because I respect your life. So I don't want to suffocate you, but it's just, that's annoying in itself. I'd rather be laid on my back, like my legs up, or like if you're going to eat it from the back, doggy style or something, but to keep just one thigh, especially if you take ham hock, yes.
I'm about to say, look, when you got thick thighs, them joints is heavy. Okay? You get tired after a while.
Facts. It does not work well for every body type. I could agree, but
I mean, not only that, but think about it this way:
I'm just thinking,
a girl was giving
like
you
I'm
head,
locking that jump down, and anyway.
Nah, if a girl was giving you head, okay, and she doing it from the side and watching TV at the same time, you think she giving you the best performance?
Probably not.
Probably not.
Exactly. And then you're going to start going soft because I'm not giving you the time and attention. I'm not looking deep in your eyes. So you be like, oh, yeah, suck my soul. Like, yeah, no. So just don't watch TV while you eat me out. That's all.
Right. That's it.
That's fair. So what's your agreement as far as the best?
Well, my best was the edge of the bed.
I'm sorry. Chase, did you say yours? I'm sorry.
Yeah, but once you threw in the whole from the back thing, that definitely offset it, the whole thing. But yeah. But I like the sheets. Under the sheets, I threw my own little camcorder.
Okay. And speaking of sheets, so let's transition into our next set of topics. Actually, before we get to that one, so I totally forgot where we're going with this one. I put it in here. Subtopic number 1: squirting, yay or nay? Because we were talking about cunnilingus. But I think we all can agree. But not all can agree, but we know what mine is. I'm all for it. Do it.
I'm all for it if you can make me do it. If you can do it, then yes, more power to you.
Facts.
Do it. No, I just personally don't like. I don't have a problem squirting. But it's just like, I don't want it to be projectile. That's too much. First of all, I just think about the after effect, the cleanup. Nobody would need to go through all that. Yeah. So like, I'm over a trickler myself. So, but if you're able to do so, then like, cool. But as a fire hydrant, whoa, relax, but that's just me.
Checking out the comments, more Rita says, I hate it so much. I think that it's important. I think it's important to, yes, if you have someone who's capable of performing that act, because not everybody can. I think it's important to do what we preach here all the time, and that is communicate. And that should come up in conversation at some point when you've reached that, when you reach that point in your relationship. And towels or, there should be some type of preparation if you know your lady is capable of doing it.
Yeah, nobody wants to sleep in a wet spot.
Yeah, no. you get towels for that. That's why you have towels. Not everyone deserves the Super Soaker special effect. Facts. All right. Checking the comments on Facebook. Let's see. Beard Gang or the Shocker. Yes, the Shocker works. Shocker, and you got to pull the trigger at the top. Maddie Z. Lewis. Some earmuffs happening. Praise the ancestors for big thighs. And Jamaica says towels help. Yes, they do. So, like I said, you communicate. Lay down a towel beforehand. Just talk. Just stop being like everybody else and trying to either not tell somebody or, leave it up to their imagination, or if we're expecting them to read minds, and that goes for men as well as women. So
I'm sorry.
Same thing with, go ahead.
Real quick. Sharina said tarp. You need tarp.
I mean, there are specialty blankets or sheets out there that have the plastic lining for that particular reason.
Just go outside with it.
Right. Just go outside.
You can't be fucking outside. That is not a good look. I mean, it has a slight part of adventure in it. Yes, you can go outside, but I wouldn't recommend it if you're doing that. But yes, you definitely want to invest in some type of preparation or anything have you. But so the adverse to that, of course, is, I guess, what do you guys feel about projectile ejaculation for men? We know we've had the swallow conversation before. Yes, I got to throw some audibles at you. Don't look at me with the big eyes. Yeah, so
that's the part that got me. Like, there's a projectile ejaculation. Squirting. Okay, cool. But projectile ejaculation, that is something
doesn't it project somewhat anyway? I mean, especially.
But there are varying levels to it.
I'm like, whoa, that is.
So clearly,
like, if it's about to take my eye out, then that's a problem.
Clearly, not everybody has spent a lot of time on Orange YouTube, if you know what I mean. But there is a category of that where there are some gentlemen who have the capability to actually shoot across the room. So, I mean, it's a thing. So if you had yourself in that situation with an individual, given what you said in the past about swallowing, would you be willing to be a target practice across the room?
In certain areas, probably not in the back of the throat, because I probably will choke and then will come back up, and then the whole move will just be ruined. You can't just be projectile in somebody's throat like that. That's dangerous. But that's a short way of making somebody pregnant. It's gonna go right through the cervix, straight up to the
through the cervix. Okay.
It's gonna go straight through.
Oh, wow. On YouTube, I gotta give a shout out to Siobhan J from Something to Wine About podcast. I actually did a guest appearance on there. She's in. She says, keep it in the bathroom. Wetness is expected. Facts. All right. So what do you think about projectile ejaculation, Miss Royal?
See, here's the thing. Okay. So I might be down for being the target. I might be okay with some target practice. Like Chase said, though, there's certain areas, you know what I'm saying? Like, don't shoot for like the facial area, because I feel like with projectile, and this is just my imagination, but it's like I feel like with projectile ejaculation, I might lose an eye or something like that. So can we just like can we aim like below the neck?
My mind was like, if you projectile and my eye doesn't get the reaction in just enough time, that's it. That's it. All.
So y'all remember, everybody watched Insecure, right? So Issa Rae, yes, we talk about communication. So if you're going to do that, you got to announce, you got to call before you come. So yeah, you should definitely do that. But it doesn't necessarily have to be in the face. Sometimes we just want to be Picasso and we want to paint you. It happens. So are you okay with it being anywhere below the neck?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm fine with it being below the neck.
Pearl necklace. Manny Lewis called it out on Facebook.
Are you a real one?
You said what?
If you haven't taken a load to the chest, are you a real one? I mean,
here's the thing. Okay, when you have a partner that you really trust, you know what I'm saying? Y'all been at it for a while. I'm gonna just say in my personal
married
experience.
Life.
There you go.
Married
there you
life.
go.
There you go.
My married life. Because I've been with him for a long time. You know what I mean? It's just like, all right, you want to do some target practice, it's all good. Above the neck, below the neck, do you think? But
Jamaica says, call it like you playing pool, okay?
Facts. Call the pocket. Call the pocket.
Nutball, armpit.
I mean, but I think that's where like you said, communication and then also talking while you're having sex. I mean, saying, where do you want me to come is respectful because you're giving choices to choose from in 3.5 seconds. So I have to come up with a really quick answer or else there's either going to be some great consequences or not too great consequences. So you got to just make some very executive decisions in a
Yes.
Right.
Yes. And again, I got to make sure everybody, that's not the standard. That's, usually it's reserved for, it's a party trick. It's not, everybody can't do it, just much like squirting. So same thing, checking out the comments on YouTube. Looks like Brittany Payne says, that's weird for a guy to do. I mean, it's not for everybody. Some guys are oozers, some guys are shooters, and some guys are just just get it off.
From what I know, men can control how it does fly out. Whether because I mean it's like a Kegel muscle within itself. Like they can just let it go, or they can just make sure it doesn't project as much and it drips or whatever. So it's not weird to know that men can projectile. I think at that point in my head, if I'm watching that, there's nothing but a bunch of clenched cheeks happening on the backside of that projectile, and I cannot foresee my man that's just a lot. That's a lot. There's a lot going on there.
The Kegels aren't in our cheek anyway.
I know that, but I'm just saying, when you your nuts are pulsate and everything kind of go together. I mean, cheeks are gonna, so.
Real quick, John Luther on Facebook says, but sometimes you don't know the velocity of what's about to happen. That's true facts. And also, going back to YouTube, Brittany Payne, Siobhan J, that absolutely not, but I'm a prude. I'm sorry to hear that. And Brittany Payne says, silly string. And Siobhan J, he'll shoot your wig off or weave off. Wow. Okay.
Wow.
Okay.
Wait, Chase, you make it thirsty.
It's good. It tastes good.
Oh, speaking of which, we're going to give a special birthday shout out to Miss Chase. Your birthday is in how many?
It's on Tuesday, July 13th.
So I think I'm the only one that's going to do it, but this shot's for you, homie.
Wait,
thank you.
I'll shoot some water.
Oh,
yeah, there you go. Okay. Cheers. Happy birthday to you. We're looking forward to you having some good times. Hopefully you can get that act right for your birthday. I'm just saying, Hopefully, everybody deserves to get some act right for the birthday.
It might have already been gave, but who knows?
Shucks. Okay.
Got the pre-birthday action.
Got the early birthday present. Hey, how you doing?
Yeah. But yeah,
come on, table, son. Somebody got to show it to him.
It's bananas. Last year, my 20s. But yeah, it's
cool. I mean, as long as you're having fun, that's all that matters. But speaking of
this weekend with my friends, so
that's awesome. That's awesome. So make sure you go follow her on her social media accounts. We'll of course have them listed later, and make sure that you guys give her a like. And she's pretty popular on TikTok. But speaking of summertime fun in this heat wave that we're experiencing most of this country, how do you guys feel about hot sex summer? How do you feel about, some high love in the heat? So basically what I'm asking is, with the heat as it is, would you prefer to have sex in the AC? Because some people, we're all a little bit bigger, so sometimes we get sweaty during sex, and having the AC on full blast while you're doing so can cause some issues. So would you rather turn the AC off and do it in the rough, or are you going to cool things down? Chase, you go first. We spun off of you. Let's go.
I need the AC because I know that there are some big body people or just people in general who only sweat from certain surfaces on their body. Some people just their forehead. Some people it just determines like where their heat exposes out. It's my whole entire body. When I get hot, I pour out from every cell I have from head to the feet. And so if that's the case, that means there is nothing to grip. Like there is no skin contact or gripping. So whether you're hitting from the back, your hand's gonna slip off some ass. If you're sitting there trying to eat, your hand's gonna slip off some thighs. Like I'm going to be sliding and slipping everywhere. I can't. My knees ain't gripping. My feet ain't gripping. I can't ride. It's just gonna be a whole mess. And then also, I like big dudes. So now we both sitting here, okay, like 400-pound plus with no AC. Hot and sticking and nasty? I don't think so. It doesn't, no, because now we both sliding and swarming. Nobody got no grip. And it gets, and then you have natural body odors that happen, and within heat, they do increase. It's not cute. It's not cute for nobody. So I would rather have an AC and a cold vagina than heat.
Well, the vagina should be cold, homie. Like,
well, I'm just saying, and then be in the heat with some hot, but just the air. That's disgusting. So,
I mean, to each their own. Royal, what do you think?
Listen, me and Shays are of the same mind on this topic because I need the AC, and this is me personally speaking as somebody whose AC has been out for a week. You understand?
Ooh.
Yeah. So I'm fully there with, the overheating during sex and you're both sweating. Okay. And sex is a sweaty act. You put work anyway. This is a full workout. So you're going to sweat regardless. And then I got to add the heat on top of that. So we're extra sweaty. Yeah, no, that's a no for me. Yeah, give me the AC all day.
Okay. I guess I'm going to be the oddball as always. I could go either way. I would prefer to have the AC off. I'm a big dude. I sweat. I think that sex is it's like exercise. It's also a game. It's a competition. I'm trying to get you there. You're trying to get me there, in my opinion. So we should be working to do so. It should be a workout. Like let's make it fun. Let's make it sweaty. So, but I think that when you if you're moving around properly, wink, wink, you under the covers, don't roll your eyes at me. You're going to get it. It is what it is. But if you're moving around in the sheets and you got to make a move, you got to switch positions. You're going to move them sheets off of you and you're sweaty. You're exposing your cold body to it. My whole back is Frio now and I don't want to deal with that. So let's just keep it even keel. Like, I don't think we should be sitting there in the absolute 90-degree weather. But, hell, our ancestors did it. They survived and they made all us.
I feel like room temperature is fine. You know what I'm saying? Like room temperature,
that's fine.
70-ish degrees, that's fine. But
nobody
in the heat, nah. What'd you say, Jace?
Nobody needs a hot ass because not for nothing. If we're kissing and licking on all surfaces of our body, you have to think about it. Mm-hmm. My spit is now interlocking with your sweat and whatever other natural juices is flowing around. That's 3 different type of moistures in one location. I do not need to be tasting at the same time. Like, it's not.
See, why do you have to describe it that way? And now I'm already extra visual. Thank you so much.
And that's the thing, I'm too visual. So if I already see the sweat going down over your eyelids, you're like blinking it away because you're trying to pump all crazy. And then you're like, oh, well, it's not hot. And now I'm going to suck you up in this, like, you're hot, your penis hot, everything's sweating, I'm sweating, and my hand's slipping off because everything's wet. It's just too much.
So you don't think it's a little sexy to be like, the guy's sweating or whatever, and it's like, he mid-stroking and you just do the little swipe on his forehead real quick?
Oh, I do that. Like, I make sure I take care of mine. Like, I'll wipe the forehead and stroke, make it feel like he's cool and everything like that, because it's going to drip on me. I'm like, what's going on?
A quick audible question for you guys, as well as you guys there in the comments. If you can, make sure you like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. But audible question for everybody. if your individual is an avid sweater, as we have spoken of, I'm one of those as well, would you be opposed to them having a sweatband on their wrist or on their head to help prevent it during sex?
No.
I mean, I wouldn't be opposed. I'd be like, why the hell are you wearing a sweatband? You know,
I'm like, okay, then go.
Because I'm about to put in this work. That's
just like,
you're gonna jump in the hole.
I mean, just imagine you see him doing one of these numbers. Yes, I'm talking about myself because I've definitely broken those out before. I don't care. I had somebody complain about the sweat. I was like, I'm gonna fix it. I got this. All right, what's up? But
I feel like if I saw something like that, we'd be like in some type of gym foreplay or something like that, or role play or something. That's what I would.
I mean,
that's
it
what
could
I
be
would
role play. You know, got on my basketball shorts beforehand, basketball jersey, sweatband, wristband, whatever. And I am that basketball player for the night. I mean, you could tie role playing into it. But in the comments, let us know if you would enjoy that or you would kick them out of your bed. But Chase, so speaking of other preparations for hot sex, you made mention in the meeting about specialty sheets.
Oh yeah,
especially. You forgot that quick.
All right. So when it comes with like, I need sheets that I don't slip off, I don't fall off of, I don't like, you know what I'm saying? And I feel like some people don't realize that sheet counts. First of all, if you don't have a high thread count, you're a bum. You need to get high thread count, okay, for your sheets. Like that's the only respectful way to sleep. Okay, the higher the thread count, the better your sleep. If you're a big body person, I would definitely ex-nay on the whole flannel sheets, or sheets that have like some type of cotton to them, depending on the weather. Obviously, if you live like up north, like I do, I live in Massachusetts, in the wintertime, it definitely is a keeper. Like, you know, something like that, I would definitely change the sheets a lot more often, just because of the fact that it's time, you're going to get hot and everything like that. But sheets matter, and you don't want sheets sticking in your ass, on your ass at any point of the time while anything like that.
Get up and the whole sheet is in the crack of your ass and you walk and pull the whole thing
exactly, and then you walk away with the whole sheets in your ass. That's low thread count. You don't need that.
Speaking from personal experience, probably. I'm just saying.
I mean, it's definitely happening.
That was very descriptive.
You want, like, and if you get silk, someone's sliding. Someone is flying off that bed. I mean, at one point in time, I mean, I would like a seat, like a nice silk sheet bed. Okay, Sally sells seats over the beach. But it would feel good. It would feel comfortable. But at one point in time, somebody's actually gonna go zooming across the bed. Like y'all try to do that cute little, oh, I'm Hulk smash, and, you know, throw a bitch on the bed. Next thing you know, she and she's just going off the bed. Her ankle, and now she's not gonna have a good time. So I think when it comes to having a bed share, especially if you are a share bed person, you know, you're single, you got people coming in and out, anybody keeps shaming you, get your body count up, sis. But the thing about it is, you might want to keep the sheets a nice high quality grade, okay, and keep a multiple set. I have someone that I unfortunately know did a two body in the same sheet set, and that is disgusting. You got to change the sheets, y'all. If you having somebody in between, change your sheets, please. And wash your pillows. Nobody need pink eye.
Oh my Lord.
Yeah, no, because one time, somebody I know, he slept over some girl's house, and the next day had bumps like on the side of his face.
Oh no.
So change your sheets, y'all, please. Thank you.
Them's fighting
words. Facts. Yeah, I mean, as a single man, when I've had multiple partners, it's like, yeah, no, you have to take that extra preparation. Because women's olfactories are 5 times better than ours. Women can actually smell when another rod's been there, and it's like, damn it. So you got to change the sheets. I totally agree with that. But yeah, get them high threaded Egyptian cotton sheets. Silk is okay, but that's more so room temperature level. You got to have that even. So I'm gonna keep the thermostat at 73. So yeah, keep it even. Keep it even keel. All right. So I think that concludes our kinky portion. Anybody? Let's check the comments. YouTube. Brittany Payne, wiping sweat and scratching backs. If you can't reach, you are going to be quiet now. checking out the comments on Facebook. Let's see. John Luther, I used to sweat it out, but I hate dripping sweat in raw facts. That's why I brought out the headband, because I don't, I've had to complain myself. I love the sweaty season though. Yeah, and we all appreciate that, Jamaica. Nah, I mean, they wear them for golf, and motherfuckers are just walking. Yeah, I mean, people sweat. We're human. It's a human function. We sweat. John Luther, I ain't kicking no one out of bed. That's my wife, looking like a Nigerian action flick, sliding all over the place.
Wow.
Jamaica, move the slip and slide to the backyard. Didn't we just talk about having sex outside? Don't do it. It's not a good look unless you're camping. Camping sex. That would be interesting.
Like a patio outside or something like that, and you got trees obscuring your neighbor's view.
Yeah, like a patio, or you're pretty much covered up in some bottom.
Get a gazebo.
I've seen on TikTok where a dude's neighbors just put up some high-rising fence, and I guess once it was finished, they wanted to put it to use, and he was in his backyard chilling. Next thing he heard, noise still exists outside, guys. Like, noise still exists, so still be wary of that. They can't see you, but they can definitely hear you.
Look, some people enjoy putting on the show, and they don't care about the sounds.
I mean, most of us don't. Anyway, gonna move on. All right, now that was your...
Balcony sex is popping. When you're on vacation, you got that balcony in your hotel.
Balcony sex is popping, yeah.
No, I don't know what movie I saw as a kid, and I probably should not have been watching it. But there's a scene where dude is stroking shorty from the back, and she's on the glass of the hotel on the top floor.
And they fall.
That is on my sexual bucket list. I need to put some titties on the glass so the world can see what I'm doing to her.
Oh,
sorry,
okay,
not
but
sorry.
Did you not hear about the part where they fell?
They fell?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think I know a movie you're talking about, but there was another movie with the same scene, and the pane, the glass pane fell out.
No, that just you ruining my fantasy right now.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm trying to make sure you live. I love you.
They have those locked because people will commit, bad things to themselves. So no, you're not. And if I'm hitting you so hard that I'm breaking earthquake-proof glass, A, I'm proud of myself. B, I'm doing too much. I'm doing too much. But no.
Going out with a smile.
How many pups can I get on the way there? Anyway, all right,
wow.
Cool. Moving on.
All
that has been your Just Desserts. Now it's time for us to transition to our meat and potatoes. So some people like it, somebody don't. Some of you don't. I don't care. This is a sex and relationships portion show. We're going to get into the relationship portion. So this week, we are going to be talking about shooting shots. Are you a target or are you a shooter? There's, we're in the midst of hot girl summer, hot boy summer, white boy summer, black boy summer, whatever. We're in the midst of summertime, and that's when people do the most fucking, to put it simple. But in that case, you usually have to get up to that portion of things. You have to actually build up to that, and that comes with shooting your shot. So recently, somebody shot a shot at me on TikTok, and it's just, oh yeah, shout out to Chase. Thank you. You helped me get to 60K followers on TikTok. I do appreciate that last reaction. Talking about back shots. I do appreciate you. I got to give you your flowers now on live so everybody can see. It's because of her. She sent me that.
Over here. We're helping each other build each other.
Exactly. But yeah, so the people are shooting shots in DMs or doing it in person. I prefer the cold approach. I'm not I don't have that type of game, but I'd rather just come to you instead of doing it digitally. But I guess that's the era that I'm from. So what do you guys consider yourselves? I consider myself a shooter. What do you, and yourself, Royal, I know you're out of the game. You've won. But in your time, what did you consider yourself, a shooter or a target?
I was more of a target. Outside of the one instance where I shot my shot. And I'm married, but I digress. I was a target because I was always taught that you didn't chase a man. The man was supposed to chase you. So I was not a shooter.
Okay. All right. Chase?
Yeah, I've always been a target. Whether the target was very noticeable or not, I've just always been a target, and just like in the words of Royal, we've been taught straight out the Bible, he who finds a wife finds a good thing. So It's one of those things where I've always been the chaser. I've never been the person to go after. I did shoot my shot one time through TikTok, but that was it was like funnies, but I was like, But yeah, so there's that. But other than that, I've never shot my shot. I think I've asked questions if the situation was already happening, but at that point, there's no shooting to be done because we were already entangled with each other, and I was just confirming where we were in this entanglement, I guess. But yeah, sometimes I don't even know they shooting their shot. I just be standing there and I'm like, oh, did y'all see that knife go by? That's crazy. That's just me though. Like we said the other time, I am very oblivious to anyone actually liking or wanting me. So I'll be like, oh, that's crazy. That's bananas. Did you mean to throw that? Oh, okay. I know you did.
Okay. And also, ladies and gentlemen in the comments, if you could, let us know if you were originally a shooter or a target, so we can keep the conversation going. And of course, as always, like and share the video. So, like you said, obliviousness is also a problem on both sides of the fence. Men can be oblivious, women can be oblivious. And Jamaica says, all my shots go wide. John looked through last comment was for putting the ass on the glass in case, snozzberries taste like snozzberries. Yeah. I hope you're not licking the glass on me. That's not sanitary. But yeah, if you're a target or you're a shooter, put it in the comments. Let us know. But as far as obliviousness, yes, some people can get shot at and they don't see it, and sometimes they see it, they ignore it, based on their preferences. So, what do you think makes you oblivious to being shot at if you are a hypothetical target?
I think it goes back to it's not just like who you are as an adult right now. I think it goes back to like when you're growing up, elementary school or whatever like that, like whether who you're interested in likes you, talk to you, try to take you out, or whatever the case may be. So like if you was in middle school and like you have your stereotypical like, boys and girls, like, the boys like only being mean to you or tugging your hair because he likes you and that type of bull or whatever, like, and you kind of grow up with that type of mindset. So if you don't see someone having some type of like passion or aggression towards you in that form, you're just like, oh, well, you're just being a nice person, therefore you're just being a friend. You're not like antagonizing. You're not like seeking after me so that way I'm not seeing what you're actually doing. And then especially if you're like in the case of me where you didn't really have a lot of dudes trying to pick you up, talk to you, holler at you, however you want to say, it's definitely almost always I'm going to friend zone you without even meaning to friend zone you. Now, if I like Trey said, if I'm doing it on purpose because of like off of attraction, that's another thing. But if it's just like, oh, I do think you're cute and I definitely would go for you, but I'm automatically putting you in the friend zone because I feel like you automatically friend zone me because I don't feel like you would even want me. So yeah, and then that's how it usually goes. And then years later, it's like, you know, I liked you like during this time. No, I did not. That's crazy. And then they tell you all the apparent things that they were actually doing. You're like, oh, sorry, you should have said something. That's why I say communication. Speak it out your mouth. Closed mouth don't get fed.
Thanks.
Yeah, I feel like sometimes too it could be kind of an arrogance thing. And the reason why I say that is because, you can have people shooting your shot and at the same time you're like, yeah, okay, whatever. I'm not interested, whatever. Because, you may feel like not necessarily that you're better than that person, but like maybe like you deserve better. It kind of makes me feel like the analogy that, and I hate agreeing with him, but it's kind of like that analogy with the husband store. And this is not 100% of agreement. It's not 100% agreement, but like I've seen, girls like straight up, not just friend zone a guy, but like completely shut him down. And he could be a good guy, but they're looking for that something better. You know what I mean? And that's just what I've seen. Just back in my days when I was a target and the people I used to run with and stuff like that. So.
Okay.
All right. I've been nice for long enough.
God damn it. I led him right into
You ready? You're ready. All right. So, personally, I think you should not be shooting a shot as a woman. I think that you should put yourself in a position to be ready to receive a person to approach you. That's my personal opinion. Yes, it's toxic. I don't give a fuck. You should be preparing yourself for that person to shoot a shot. Make yourself a target. Make yourself a target. And those who are interested will shoot the shot. Now, my question is, how can you make yourself more susceptible to being shot at? In your personal opinions, what do you think? That's my little. That's all I'm going to give you right now. So, question still stands. Chase?
Personally, I think in this day and time, there are so many big ass warning signs of, hey, I'm available, hey, I'm single, hey, I'm this, that people put out there that, just like you said, if a person wants you, they will, seek after you. It's up to you if you want to participate in that type of communication with that person. So I won't sit here and lie and say my DMs are dry as F and no one tries to talk to me. I have plenty of guys creepishly message me about stuff and everything, and I blatantly put it out there that I'm single, so of course it's gonna open the floodgates of singleness, and they're like, oh, I'm just trying to jump on you, but it also has to do with attraction. It has to do with how you speak with me and everything like that. Like there's somebody that I befriended who I know finds me attractive, and I'm more than sure if I gave them the chance, they would definitely hop on it. But it's just well as like they didn't approach me in a rude or disgusting type of manner. But I think the best way to put it out there without being desperate, to be honest, honestly, is there any type of way to put it out there without being desperate? I mean, because I think, like I said, this day and age, you're putting out there like, oh, I'm single, or I'm taking, or like something like that in that form. So if a person's gonna reach out to you, I think I don't even think people care if you're in a relationship nowadays. Like they're gonna want you. They're gonna want you. Period. And they're gonna come at you knowing that you're in a relationship. So if they feel in their minds that they will do better for you than that person that you're with, they're gonna be very determined to do so. But I don't think there's any exact way for me to show that I'm ready for you to shoot your shot besides just automatically almost already having it out there that, hey, I'm single and I'm ready to mingle.
Okay. All right. Real quick, checking the comments on Facebook, Manny Lutless. I'm not Trey Samuels. I'm just Trey Proper. And let's see. Going up. Sorry. Fetishized Target by Jamaica. Yeah, there are fetishized targets. Yes. But fetishes are, I don't think it's a bad thing. I think it's just people's preferences. They prefer that type of person. Checking out the comments on YouTube, Siobhan J. Honestly, there are a lot of men who aren't shooters, whether out of fear of something else. So if every woman is expecting to be a target, that's unrealistic. I mean, I can agree with that. I just think that there is a closed offness. I don't know if that's the right way to say it. There's a level of pre-rejection. And that kind of goes into previous conversations that we've had about the expectations of some women. They are expecting, numbers wise, women go after the higher level guys. I think that's been proven. They have their expectations are higher, so the regular guys are not going to reach up to their expectations. So the guys who are on a lower level that are shooting their shot at them, they're invisible to them. So they miss those shots because their expectations are so high. So, and it's not all. I'm sorry.
I said you missed some women, but you went into it. Not all.
Yeah, because I got this. Not not motherfucking all. So, but yeah, I mean, I think it's a hit or miss type thing. But I think if women in general would put themselves in a position where they are focused on bettering themselves and making themselves a better target, and also, yes, I hate to say it, making deals with people that are on their level and not having the expectations of the stars, then they'd have better luck. But that's just my personal opinion.
In the same token, why are the men trying to get with women that are too high grade for them? Why not go with women who they know they more than likely could possibly obtain. Like, I'm just thinking, like, if everyone was on the same let's just say this, if everyone's on the same tax bracket, right? Everyone out here was making, let's just say, $200,000 to $400,000 a year, right? If everyone, I'm saying, but if everybody was in the same tax bracket, do you think there would be any different on how the dating world would go? Because at this point, there's not a higher grade value if everyone's making the same amount of money. At that point, it's off of integrity, personality, characteristics, who you are as a person, and everything like that. So I feel like if we're looking at, I don't like talking about looking for a high grade person and everything like that, because your everyday female or male is just looking for someone that they can pair with. I feel like, those people who are looking for high grade are looking for some type of advancement in life without working for it. We're talking about the people who work with something or want to work with someone. We're talking about the everyday people who say, I just want someone who I can build with, not someone who already has it built. I'm just trying to come up to their level. So if we're talking about your everyday person who's just looking for that person to build, create foundation, leave behind a legacy with their family, their children, their grandchildren, everything like that, then how are we shooting our shots or, accepting the shots from these people? Let's take out the high gradeness when, a good bunch of us are the regular degulars amongst each other.
Right.
So what I have to say in response to that, there are parts of that I do agree with. But the way that dating works in general with most people is that women date up, men date down. Men are not going to look for you to be on a certain level financially. We don't care about your money. We don't care. We don't want you for your money. That's not a factor. There are other underlying factors that are involved in our choices, and we will shoot shots based on those accordingly. But women, in general, you're not going to go after a dude who is living in his mom's basement, for example. He doesn't have a car. That you have your expectations for him are sometimes higher than most men will do. So that's where we come with that. That's why it's like, sometimes you got to make a deal. Sometimes you gotta give somebody a chance. You don't have to. You don't have to. I'm not going to make it seem like you absolutely have to, but you can make a deal with somebody that's not all the way there, so that you guys can build together.
Yeah, I think that.
Like that's
go ahead, Royal. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, it's okay. I was just saying that. I don't feel like that's 100% true. I mean, I feel like women, in general, like most women, are giving the dude that lives in his mom's basement, or the dude who doesn't make as much as I make, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Whatever the case, I feel like we're giving those guys a chance because those are the ones who are actually trying to do something. You see them doing something with themselves, like, yeah, okay, you may be on hard times right now, but, you're a good guy. You're getting your ass up every day. You're going to work. If you got kids, you're taking care of your kids. You know what I'm saying? You're taking care of your responsibilities. You're making sure your bills are paid. You know what I'm saying? You're somebody that I can build with. You're treating me well. You know what I'm saying? Like, those are the type of dudes that you build with. It's not like
those are the things. Yeah.
Say that again.
No, I was just bouncing off of what you were saying. Was those are the same guys that we're giving our time and our chance and our effort to, because we see. You guys remember in middle school and grade school, and your teacher would write needs improvement or has a lot to show but doesn't put the effort. Like they're basically saying you have everything to be the greatest person that you possibly can. You're just not pushing that
working to your potential.
You're not working. It's not your full potential. Thank you, Royal. You're not working to your full potential. So we, as most women, will go and be with the regular dude who is doing the best that he possibly can, and we see that in him, and that is what gravitates us to him, because we're like, if you're doing the best that you can do with your shortcomings right now, baby, I can only imagine when we get up there what kind of power you're going to put with it. But with that, when we do talk to our friends, when we do talk to our family members, and we are talking about the trouble that we're having now with these men that we're dating for the year, 2 years, or whatever they were dating, then we're having why would you date someone like this, or the reason why you're having this is because he doesn't have this. And then it's the conversations of, well, why didn't you vet him? Why didn't you do all these things? Because you're not doing the intelligence, the background check on this man, because if he was supposed to be a man, he would be having his shit together. But because he didn't have his shit together, like, what did you think your outcome was going to be? So because people aren't seeing something happening in a year, 2 years time, they think you're dating a bum.
Right.
Like, you know, and how I foresee dating, if I got it, you should have it. If you got it, I should have it. I still live at home with my mom. So I'm like, so if a dude still lives at home with his parents or is living in an apartment with friends, who am I to check for him?
Exactly.
I don't got nothing of my own. If I have a car, you should
have
also
a car.
You know what I mean? Like, if I got a job, you should have a job. I can't check for somebody if I don't got it for myself.
Right.
You know? So
I agree.
If any situation that we're in, I need to be able to get myself out that situation. So when people are out here getting flued out and all that other stuff, baby, if he dropped your ass off at the airport, can you get yourself home?
Facts.
Yeah.
If you cannot, then you're going to be traveling nowhere.
I'm good, love, enjoy. Funniest shit ever. I agree. I think that, yes, in the perfect world, they would have the same mindset, whereas you're willing to work with somebody like that. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying you should lower your standards to just pick up a bum off the street. Do not mince my words. I'm not saying that. I totally agree that every woman should vet every man. Yes, you should be able to go through a process of finding out what type of person this individual is, because they could be an individual who's, you know, any plethora of different options that are negative. But you should definitely be finding out or not being oblivious to those that are around you, and making sure that you see every option. You should have situational awareness, in my opinion, because ultimately, I think that in today's day and age, that some women, not all, look at it as you are a sexual option. I'm attracted to you sexually. I'm not attracted to these individuals, so I'm going to focus on this one. Not all. And they will give that individual the sexual access, and they'll ignore the other ones who are not looking for just sex. They're looking for something more. They'll ignore those that are around them because they are not sexually attracted to them, whatever have you. And that's your preference. It's totally up to you. But you're overlooking them and not giving them a chance. And then later on, when you're 45 and you're by yourself with your dog and your cat, yeah, I know I'm channeling Kevin, but you're going to be mad at the world and telling everybody men ain't shit. Ain't no good men out here. But you did that. You overlooked a good guy for the guy that you was fucking, and he don't even want to fuck with you like that because he's got his eyes on his real prize. So,
and there's nothing wrong with being 45, living with your animals. If you are happy.
I mean, if you're happy with it, sure.
If you're happy and you love your situation, be good.
If you're happy with it, sure, go right ahead. I'm just, speaking from a and I can only speak from my standpoint because I'm an individual who doesn't want to be 45 by myself. I do want to have more children. I do want to have a wife. I do want to have a life together with somebody, a partner, and until the end. That's what I want. And I think that's what most men want, even though some of us out here can be fuckboys and just out here fucking. But it kind of goes into the whole cookie analogy that I like to use. If you're giving me free cookies and I like cookies, I'm going to eat the motherfucking cookies. Don't ask me to pay for the cookies because you said it was free. So that's on you. You gave me free cookies. But that's just how I feel about it. Checking the comments on YouTube. Yes, checking the comments on YouTube. I know we kind of went off on the rails. Let's see. Siobhan, honestly, there's a lot of men who... Okay, we read that one. Up and down in what ways? Often women shoot up in terms of stability, but men shoot up in terms of physicality. And often when we women are told to settle, most men are not.
Very well said.
Yes.
That was very...
Yes.
Yeah.
Good job.
I hear you guys. Yes.
I can agree with parts of that. Yes. You are... You guys are told to settle, yes, because there are more of you than there are us. In the grand scheme of things, if we break it down the way things are, we have a lot more different subsets and caveats when it comes to the dating game than anybody in history has had. We have to, and I'm not saying this is a negative, this is whatever your preference is, but we do have people who live alternative lifestyles, who are different. They are identifying differently. So yeah, you're not going to get the best of the best. That's what I mean by that. As far as women dating up, men dating down. Some men will just take what they can get. Some men will, and they will date down. They will date the chick that works at CVS and makes $14 an hour. They will date her and be happy with her and build a life with her. Whereas some women, not motherfucking all, will want to date the nigga who makes $100,000 a year. I'm not even going to beyond that and talking about the rappers and actors and basketball. I'm not even talking about that. I'm talking about on this level. This guy lucked up and got a job at, I don't fucking know, somewhere that's paying him $100,000 a year. He's of a high financial value, but that doesn't necessarily mean he's a high value. But he will looked at as more of a secure bet to a lot of women, and they will give him the sexual access, and he's gonna fuck you, and he's never going to commit to you because he has multiple options. Men are only as loyal as our options that are available to them. Men, and I can speak for myself, men at my level, we are going to be loyal to one individual because that's what we can get. That's what we can afford. I can't afford to take Shorty A and Shorty B on separate dates on various weekends. I can fuck them. Yeah, I got plenty of time to do that, but I can't put in time and effort and everything else into you to make this a real thing. I can only give you me physically. I can't give you all of me, and I'm not going to want to.
And you know what though? I think that's the whole issue right there. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you look at relationships historically, right? And I'm glad Siobhan said this because women have always been taught to settle. You have to think about it in the way that, you know, people say that they want, and I think I sent this TikTok to y'all too, but it's like women are the ones who are told to settle for less than what we deserve, because historically you had men out there who had whole ass families outside of the ones that they had, and they were just like emotionally unavailable for both, or like, you know, verbally abusive, or, you know, just like not likable. You know what I mean? And in this day and age, women have gotten to the point where we're no longer accepting less than what we deserve. And it's like, men have to, you know, we have to like y'all. And if you aren't bringing character traits to the table that are likable, then that's where the issue is.
The
thing about it is, like, what off of what Trey was saying, you don't need to be no high value man to have options. I mean, there are people out here on 40K a year out here got 5 families. So, and supporting all of them.
Or 20K, no K, okay. 5 families.
So, like, you know, there are people out here making $15 an hour right now that got 3 shorties in rotation, and he's taking care of them. How? The world may never know. But
he ain't taking care of them. He ain't. Come on now.
None of them brothers know the difference. I'll tell you that one. So it's one of those things where it does happen, and I think based off the TikTok what Roy was talking about, I think I had sent another TikTok to the group where I think his name is Drop a Dope Dame or Drop something like that. He had went on like this whole Twitter tangent, basically saying that, you know, someone had said like, oh, women are always acting like they don't need a man for nothing, and blah, 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 blah. And he's like, you know, we're off the 3rd or 4th generation of adult women right now. And this generation of women don't really need a man. They don't. They were like, because it has been put in their head that they need a man, because at one point they needed the man to get a house, they needed a man to get a job, they needed a man to do this, they needed a man to do that, they needed a man to get a loan, they needed a man to vote, they needed a man to... So you basing your basic life source, you needed a man to just live. So if that was the story for 40-something years, okay, 45, 50 years, and now we are getting into this generation, especially on the younger end spectrum of like the millennials right now, and we're getting into that generation of whereas just because you're a man, you have a penis, and you can walk into a room of other men and they all can agree with what you got to say, and you can get a job and you can do all this other stuff that are basic life senses for you, doesn't mean I necessarily have to love you. Doesn't necessarily mean I have to date you. Doesn't necessarily mean I have to have you in my life. I have options, just like you say you have options. If I'm making $60K a year minding my business, I I can have any little Muppet I want running around here doing as I please because I can do that, just as a male can do that. You know what I'm saying? But that's the thing. I personally don't want that, right? I don't want to find a man who's on the same grade level and everything like that. Just like I said, taking this high value story out of the picture and talking about your regular, everyday person, because a person making $60K a year is not unheard of. Like, you know, $100K now is a regular salary,
right?
In some situations,
No, it's
depending
not.
on
100,000 years is not a regular.
Letting me finish my sentence. Depending on the field that you're in, depending on what you're doing, 100K to a tax bracket to money to bank is like chump change now. That's what I'm saying. Like the
that I agree with.
Has built up. So that's what I'm saying. Like for me, okay, a person who's still under the 50K bracket, if I hear somebody making 50K, I'm like, whoa, what? You got some money. You got, like, you know, but to somebody else, you're like, okay, 50K, like, what's the big deal? So I think it depends on your situation. Obviously, if you're living in the slums, even 30K to you is a lot. That's nothing to live off of in the state of Massachusetts, but it could be something to live off of in another state. You know what I'm saying? And it also depends on where you're coming from. I can live up here and be living a crappy life, but someone who lives in a pay-as-you-live kind of state could be looking at me like I'm a high-grade woman, and I'm like, we're both broke, baby, just two different tax brackets, two different tax states. Okay, like, I don't want you to get it mixed up. So, like I said, when it comes to in a wrap-up of this, when it comes to you finding a person that, like, you know, appeases you and you appease them when you're shooting your shot and everything like that, I think it should be middle ground. Everyone should have what the other person has. And the other person has more than you, let it be a little bit more. Don't go shooting for the stars, and now you're trying to catch up with them, and you're going to end up on the Real Housewives of Atlanta, Baltimore, or you're going to be on the Real Comedian Wives, or this show where everybody has a career, a business, a boutique that they're trying to create and make because they want to make sure that the world knows I'm not a gold digger. I can make my own money. But yeah, we haven't seen profits come from it.
Okay, so you've said a whole lot here. Trying to keep up. All right, so going back to the first thing you were talking about as far as other families. Now, those people in the past that had other families because they were providers, they were capable of providing for multiple families. The individuals nowadays who are doing that, they're just fucking them. They're not providing shit 90% of the time. There may be some out there who are lower value, whatever have you, but they just sling a dick. They're not spending time with the children. They're not in the homes. They're not. What woman in today's day and age is going to be like, okay, I'm just going to fuck you on Tuesdays and I'll see you next week. And he's got father the families. Like, let's be realistic.
SZA made a whole song. There's some women out here.
We're not saying this is happening once a week. You can have a person who can manipulate, talk to, and anybody can manipulate a person if they're good enough at it. Okay, so therefore,
then that's not an established relationship. That's a manipulation, correct?
Yes, but you can make a person believe you are the only one. I am only coming to you. This is only happening with you.
So would you consider that individual a valued individual that's doing something like that? Would you think that
I feel like we should take those two words out of the conversation because we're not looking for high value. We're talking about regular people.
Listen to what I just said. I said a valued individual. I didn't say anything about monetary wise.
Okay, and not even have
as in character, morals, stuff like that.
Either way, we're talking about regular people in this type of situation, right? We're talking about individuals, everyday individuals, right? So let's take the value and everything off the table out of the conversation because it can be misconstrued as saying high value. Okay. And we don't want to do that, right? We're having a conversation about regular people.
A worthy individual of your time and space.
Anybody individual of your time and space, and they could be lying to you the entire time, and you think they are the creme de la motherfucking creme. That doesn't mean that they're worth shit. So anybody can tell you who they are as long as they're telling you what you want to hear, and you're going to accept because they're showing that to you. They're giving that to you. You're not going to question anything outside of that source until one day Deborah is ding dong. Well, Shirley is ding donging on your door.
coming to you as a woman.
That man is mine. From the top of the head to the bottom of his feet. The clothes he wears on me, that's me. So I'm just saying, it has happened time and time again, okay? Barbara didn't have no high value man. They had Joe. So, so this is what I'm saying. These things happen all the time.
I'm not denying the fact that they happen. What I'm saying is that if we are vetting, both sides, we're vetting and we're evaluating, we're not allowing this stuff to happen. There should be no, I have 5 shorties lined up. I'm just saying, there should be none. Then then that dude who has 5 shorties, he's taking those four of those shorties away from 4 of the dudes. So they would be able to look at other guys instead of looking at this guy for whatever worth he has. They're all going to him and they're willing to accept that. And that's okay. They're whatever song SZA made, I don't know. They're willing to accept that I am an option as opposed to being a priority to one individual. So if they're all focused on their individual and they're vetting their individuals, then we got an issue that's solved. We don't have what do they call them? Alternate cousins or whatever. We don't have brothers that we never met. We don't have stuff like that happening because Shorty did not stay a fucking option for dude A. That didn't happen. You understand what I'm saying?
Okay, Trey.
But do you understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's move on because we're not going to. All right, so the next thing, I know we spent a lot of time on this one.
It's funny because it's usually me. I'm not laughing at you, James, but it's usually me.
It's okay. Do we got any comments on Twitch?
Okay. I didn't see any comments on Twitch, but we're missing all of the comments on Facebook.
I have not gotten to Facebook. I do see a couple. I see one. Well said, Jamaica. Woman will be willing to invest. That's what Siobhan J said on YouTube. Oh boy.
That was in response to Jamaica's comment that said, many of us see the potential and the work ethic of some of these guys and will speak life into whatever they're doing, but it does sometimes backfire. And then Darren says, you can't build a relationship with one person if you have a village minding your business. Jamaica said, facts. John Luther says, true. That's why at the core of the relationship are the people who build. Everyone else is just periphery.
It causes us men to stand up and be better people, and it makes some men uncomfortable. And I can agree with that. And as far as being uncomfortable, you get out of your damn feelings. You need to be a better man. And I've said it on previous episodes before. I don't consider myself, and this is triggering for you, a high value, but I recognize that, and I'm trying to make my worth, and that means my all-encompassing self, not just monetary, my worth better. And I'm doing that. I'm not actively dating right now because I don't want to put myself in those positions. I want to be ready. So when I do shoot that's the original thing he was talking about. When I do shoot my shot, I'm coming to the table like, shorty, this is what I got. This is who I am. And I'm ready for X, Y, and Z. Are you willing to come along with me? Yes, no. And then I'm going to keep it fucking moving if you say no. So, but that's just me. I personally don't. And I'm only talking about my anecdotal experience. I'm only talking about me. Whatever other dudes do, that's on them.
I just like the high value thing. If we take the monetary aspect out of it, I think for me personally.
But see, that's the thing. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I think for me personally, when I'm thinking high value, I'm thinking like morals and integrity and decency and that type of thing. You know what I mean? I'm not thinking about what you have in your pockets. I'm thinking about the other things that make a man a real man. So high value to me is not the Kevin Samuels standard. It is something completely different.
Here it is. So let me tag in there. So he and I'm just going to be honest with you. I'm a fan of Kevin Samuels. And I think that what he says has a lot of validity to it. But one thing that people always get confused because they never watch all his content. They always take the clips. They think that it's all about money. It's not. And I've never said it's all about money. He said what you said. He said what you said damn near verbatim as far as it's not just about money. There are different factors that are included to consider somebody high value. So when we're talking about it here, I don't intend it to be, these are the rich guys I'm talking about. No, these are the people that are genuinely of worth. So that's what I mean, and that's what he means. So, but that's it.
I guess it's hard for me to believe that because of the fact that when he's talking about high value men, he says that high value men are only going to look at a certain standard of woman. You know what I mean? They are. And it's like, I hear you say a lot about how women don't look at regular men, but in reality, if you're talking about becoming this high value man, you're not looking at a regular woman either, according to Kevin Samuels.
So, speaking for myself, and this is part of the whole RP argument, is that men are visual creatures. We have preferences. Yes, there are some of us who do not go with the grain of what's going on right now. But ultimately, it comes down to this. You control access to sex. You can dictate who gets to get between your legs, X, Y, and Z. We control access to relationships. So we are the dictators of the relationship access. We will choose who we want to choose because this is the person who I want to reproduce with. If I'm not attracted to you, then I'm not going to want to reproduce with you. And that's just how it is. It's a biological thing. And it's totally the way it is. Because on the other side, women are hypergamous. And you've been so for the existence of humanity. Animals are hypergamous. If you don't know what it is, Google it. But that means you go after the best. You go after the top tier. That is a biological imperative. It's a biological imperative. We as humans have a social construct that we have signed, that men are not going to walk around with clubs anymore and find a pretty woman and knock her on the head and then go knock her up. That's the social construct that we have. We've allowed that to happen because we want to be better than the animals in the field, because we are better than the animals in the field. But there are still some biological imperatives in place that keep things the way they are. So we want what we're attracted to, and we're only going to go after what we're attracted to. This is also why I said you don't need to be shooting shots, because you don't know if that man is going to be interested in you. So you become a better target. That was one of the original things we talked about. But that's just a biological fact. And dead air.
Is it also a fact that when men are shooting their shots, you don't know if the woman is going to be interested in you either?
We don't, but we keep it. So now, not all men are going to be the violent and reaction to things, because I know that's where this is going to go. Where you can't even. I'm scared. There. Hold on. It may not have been you. It may not have been Chase. It could have been in the comments. I don't know. People down the line could see this and be like, "Well, you can." So, just covering my bases. Not all men are going to have a volatile reaction to rejection. Some of us have some common sense and are going to be like, I shot my shot, I tried, and I'm going to keep it moving. Majority of us are going to do that. Those outliers make us all look bad. So, yeah, we're going to shoot a shot. Sometimes a woman is not going to be attracted to us. We got to keep trying somewhere else. There's a method of dating where what was it, the episode of King of the Hill, where Hank was trying to tell Bobby how to go date women, and he sent him with Boomhauer. Boomhauer was supposed to be this ladies' man. Boomhauer literally just stood in the mall and talked to every woman, got shot down, got one number, was like, hey, I succeeded, and kept it moving. So, we're going to try to shoot shots. Jamaica, woo, next topic. Okay, all right. Let's move along. I think we've killed this one dead. We got a little bit of time left. So let's hit up the last topic of the night. TikTok. We've talked about it multiple times here. We are standouts among the community. I can say that now because I got 60,000 followers. I don't care. I'm just going to keep on doing it. But I still ain't caught up with Chase yet. I'm on my way, though. I'm going to catch you. I'm going to catch you. So you guys wanted to talk about TikTok. Is it the new dating app?
I believe so. I think that when you're able to come across videos, whether they're inland, across the water, or whatever, you're able to see and be a part of these different talks. You got food talk, cook talk, kink talk, thick talk. I mean, you got every type of lineage on TikTok to find someone. One of the greatest things that I think came out of TikTok was people finding out that they're not weird anymore, quote unquote, that they have people who they do have the same interests, similar thoughts, similar thought processes. Even if they were afraid to speak it out loud, they found someone who did, and they're like, oh, yes, I found you. So when you come across these people's videos and you come across somebody that you may find attractive, and then you follow them, and then they seem cool, you start leaving comments, they're replying to yours, and it kind of just goes back and forth. I personally have made 2 to 3 different connections out of the application in itself. Mm-hmm. One was actually home-based, pretty much. They lived like in the next state. And we talked for a very, very, very long time. And it was cool. It was good. It was great. Like, unfortunately, nothing came out of it. But they're a great person. It was different, but it was one of those things because, and this was like early, like this was like March of 2020. So this is like, Candace had like 100 followers, like nothing. And because of the algorithm, because of the location, because of the placement, you're going to get people who are in your area more than you're going to get people who are not in your area. For example, I went down to South Carolina in May, if you guys remember, and for whatever reason, I didn't type I was in South Carolina. I didn't say anything. The whole time I was in South Carolina, I got so many videos about South Carolina, and South Carolina. For what? I don't know. I never typed it in. I never put an address in to find it. Nothing. But it did. So I could have found someone who I liked off of TikTok because it just seen or got the data off my location and gave me the videos for it. I found people some places like literally duetted a person's thing and did the whole like the hand up and everything from Love and Basketball. Like, if it worked, it worked. If it didn't, it didn't. The worst thing that you can do is slide in somebody's DM, or you can have like my lovely friend Dexter, if you guys follow me on TikTok, who duets my videos and tries to get me at his house Friday night, 8:30 p.m. every week. It's failing very hard for him. But I do think that any application, I mean, we've had Vine, relationships have came out of Vine. We've had Instagram, relationships have came out of Instagram. And these are celebrity, high valued, paid people now who are doing comedy and stuff like that. And now we have TikTok. There have been so many people who have gotten married in this amount of time, or who have moved to wherever that person is living at because of TikTok. So I will say that TikTok is a worldwide thing. You can find love anywhere. And I think that may be the site for it. And around.
Okay.
I agree. I feel like people are just really looking for their tribe, and TikTok has so many subgenres that you're able to find somebody who has your interests. You know what I mean? And you're, like Jay said, it's like either you are stitching or duetting. You can DM somebody and shoot your shot that way. You know what I'm saying? And it's like the algorithm brings you closer to people that are more likely to be into the things that you're into, and you might see somebody that you are attracted to, or whatever the case may be. And like it's just like with Instagram and everything. You send DMs, you shoot your shot that way. It's the same. TikTok works the same way. Yeah.
Okay. So I think that Instagram is still I'm not going to say that TikTok is not a dating app. I see the aspects whereas it can lead you into dating and finding relationships. I agree with that. But I think it's pretty much like the addition to Instagram. I think Instagram is still the #1 dating app in the world. Like, literally, you have a photo-realistic resume of yourself, your lifestyle, and who you are, where you've been, the type of people you hang around. And TikTok is more so for your funny stuff. Like, people, we've all seen those pages where people have put up their introspections and their deep-rooted thoughts, and they have maybe 1,000, 10,000 followers. But the funny stuff is what hits. The funny stuff is what generates likes and follows and what have you. But the adverse, those people who have those high numbers of funny stuff, you look at their Instagrams, they don't have the same amount of following over there, myself included. I got 60 on TikTok. I just broke 1,500 on Instagram. So I think that Instagram is more focused on the dating aspect, because it's also easier to DM somebody. You have to follow that person, has to follow you back if they're not following you. And John Luther says Chinese plants. Stop it. So somebody has to follow you back in order to do that. Yeah, you can do the duets and everything, but then everything is exposed. And most people who shoot shots are not going to try to do it out in the open if they're smart. If they're doing it the right way. They're not trying to let everybody, you shoot, you open yourself up to ridicule and all that trolling and other stuff. So DMs they work better on IG. So that's just how I feel about it. But yeah.
I was gonna say that I think when it comes to Instagram versus TikTok, I would say Instagram, I feel like, is your resume and TikTok is your cover letter. So Instagram will give you one, two, three of who I am. Here's still pictures of me having fun with my friends. Here's still pictures of me doing this. Here's my little activities. Yes, Instagram has now gotten the reels on TikTok, and the different edits, and you can do stories and stuff like that to look through a person's quick day adventures. But like you said, TikTok is more funny. That means I'm exposing more of my raw self, so you're really seeing who I really might be personality-wise. Instagram, everyone's gonna see me being silly to a certain T, or looking or attempting to look like a bad beat. You know what I'm saying? Whereas on TikTok, you're seeing me with my bonnet on, with my hair looking crazy because I'm about to do a bomb behind transition, me dancing even though I might not be able to, move around that good, or like, you're seeing the funny. You're seeing I posted some really emotional videos. You're seeing what a person truly goes through because they're connecting with people who have like the same thought process of them. So I feel like if you're going to be going after a person, aesthetically, I'm going to look at your Instagram because I'm looking at you in these exact moments in your life. But for TikTok, I'm seeing you on literally, because people are posting 3, 4, 5 times throughout the whole day. I'm seeing who you truly are. And I feel like that is better, especially if you have a person. Like, I posted a video really quick. I posted a video one time and I said, why is there no single man out here in these streets? Am I just gonna have to find a man from down south? A boy came in there, he's like, what kind of man are you looking for? And I was like, what do you mean? Next thing you know, we was exchanging numbers and was on the phone. So it happens, you can make it work. But like I said, TikTok is your cover letter and Instagram is your resume.
Thanks. I agree. Any objections, Roy?
Nope.
Okay. So my only audible that I had for this one was, so do you think that thirst traps help? And do you think thirst traps will help you in your dating game on TikTok?
I, as a person who I think I post thirst traps, I just post what I think I feel the most confident in, and I want people to feel what I feel about myself. But in the realms of thirst traps, some people feel like it's not cute to be doing that because you're basically giving out the milk for free. I think it's the same. And they're like, there's nothing to be hidden, but I'm not wearing Fenty Beauty lingerie on there. I'm just, doing my thing, and if you happen to like what I'm doing, then that's well. If the intent is to give you sex appeal, I want you to see that I feel sexy about myself. I have been told 10 times fold, men do not like women who have big, huge insecurities and are not confident. So I want to make sure that I do display that when I do look good, that I know I look good.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? And I want to show off that confidence. It's different for males because when males thirst trap, it gets a little weird. But
as long as I'm not running up on the screen in gray sweatpants shaking it out, that's just...
No, but that's what they do. Have you not seen? I guess he hasn't seen it.
Not all.
I think we can aesthetically thirst trap because some people, they're walking up to the camera like this and it just focuses on their face and like, oh my God, a thirst trap. All I did was look like this, and so I think it depends on how a person takes it, but I think thirst traps help to a degree depending on what your thirst traps are.
Okay. Roy?
No, once again, Chase and I agree. So I feel like the whole purpose of the thirst trap is just to show that you're feeling confident and sexy about yourself. You know what I'm saying? So I want you to see that this is how I'm feeling about me. I think I'm sexy. I'm just going to share it with everybody. That's you know what I'm saying? That's the purpose of it. So, again, Chase and I agree 100%.
Okay. Jamaica said that's not for him, so it's not going to show up on his For You page.
True.
I don't see them. So I'm glad. I've only been with somebody and they're like, look at that. Like, why the fuck are you showing me that? I don't want to see that. I personally do not. Please don't fucking do that. I will block you and I will unfriend you on everything. But I don't think what I've done with the exception of my silhouette video, I don't think I've done thirst traps. Why are you squinting like that? What did I do that's considered a thirst trap?
My eyes was dry. I was just trying to wet them up.
Yeah. Okay. So I don't think I've done the official thirst traps yet. So, but I don't think TikTok is where I would go to shoot a shot. Like it doesn't work that way for me. But yeah, ladies, I think we've pretty much wrapped everything up for the most part. We've skipped over a few things. We'll save them for later. But we've got to get to our aftercare show because I'm pretty sure some people are pissed at me and want to cuss me out. Bring the smoke to our Discord. I've dropped the links on Facebook as well as YouTube and not Instagram, TikTok. Yes. So if you want the smoke and you want to hear my melodious voice and my lovely co-host, and you want to combat anything that we've said on the show today, please join us here. The link is in there. You have to be on camera. Do not show up with just your avatar. It is a closed circuit, so nobody's gonna be able to share who you are, what you look like, whatever have you. It's just so we know who we're talking to and we can see your inflections. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So yeah, come on down to. Sorry, the cat's jumping. Come on down to our Discord. Any final thoughts on this episode, ladies?
I would just like to say that we always are going to have something that we agree to disagree on. And at the end of the day, no matter if the smoke is given live or behind the scenes in the aftercare, which you guys should be on the Discord, the Kink is Away podcast. It's always all love. And we love the topics. We love everything. So if you guys have any topics that you would like for us to talk about, and you think would ruffle our feathers a little bit, make sure you slide into our DMs on Instagram, on the Kinkazoid podcast, or on Facebook, and just give us some topics. I mean, they're going to be private. If you want it to be anonymous, let us know. If you have any advice that you want us to, give to you, I mean, hey, we're here. Like, think of us as your own personal advice column. All right. So sexually, obviously. But yeah, let us know. That's pretty much it. But you guys can always follow me on Instagram at Candy Taste Sweet.
Same for me. You can follow me on Instagram on at Royal ROY40.
Did I send the wrong thing? My bad. It's your boy Trey Proper. I'm Trey Proper everywhere. If you don't know that by now, you gonna know my loud ass. It is what it is. Every single platform. But we had a great show tonight. We'll catch you in the aftercare.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Peace.